What if Palpatine was a Jedi? In The Phantom Menace, we witnessed Palpatine become the Chancellor, and over the years, he operated in the shadows, starting the Clone Wars and controlling both sides of the war the entire time. Eventually, his grand plan worked and he soon became the Emperor, as he and the Sith finally ruled the galaxy. But what if things were different? What if Palpatine was a Jedi? How different would things have been if he was never a Sith and became a Jedi instead? Well, in this alternate timeline, that's exactly what we'll be diving into, so let's get right into it. Our story begins just 2 years after Palpatine's birth on the rich lush planet of Naboo. At the age of 2, Sheev Palpatine was a curious young boy, but little did he know his life was about to change. One day, as he was at home with both his mother and his father, they received a knock on the door by an unexpected guest. However, this guest was like no other. This guest was a Jedi. To many, the Jedi only existed in fairy tales, and it was rare that you'd ever be able to see one face to face. So what was a Jedi doing at the home of the Palpatines? What could they possibly want? The Palpatine family wasn't sure, but as Sheev's father, Cosigna Palpatine, opened the door, he'd soon get his answers.
Master Jedi, what a surprise this is. How may we help you?
Greetings, Mr. Palpatine. I am here on behalf of your child, Sheev Palpatine. According to our records, he is identified as a Force sensitive, and I am here to offer him an opportunity to be trained as a Jedi and to join the Order.
I see. So you want my son to become a Jedi?
Under your consent, yes.
Let me tell you something, Master Jedi. Sheev has shown no sign of using the Force or whatever it's called. He has no interest in joining your order, so you can leave our home now and go back to your precious temple.
I understand, sir. However, allow me to prove you otherwise.
Dooku pulled out a gadget of some sort.
This device here allows me to detect a midichlorian count of an individual. The higher the number, the stronger the connection is in the Force. If you allow me to test it on Sheev, we can discover just how high his count is.
Cosigna paused.
Be quick.
Dooku nodded, and from there, he performed the test. Taking a small pinch of Sheev's blood, the device began to scan his midichlorian count. But then, the device began to beep. It never did this before. What was going on? However, as Dooku read what the device said, he was speechless. Sheev's midichlorian count, it was so high. A number like he's never seen before, almost as high as Master Yoda's.
Well, you clearly aren't telling me something.
Sir, my apologies, but your son, his midichlorian count is beyond anything I've seen in a child. It is extraordinarily high.
Cosigna's face turned pale, almost like he saw a ghost. For the last 2 years, he always tried to brush off his son's gifts. But now, it all made sense. If what this Jedi was saying was true, then he couldn't keep Sheev around his family. No, he'd only destroy this family. Cosigna would not allow that.
I see. Go ahead. Take him. The boy was a mistake anyways.
Excuse me?
You heard me. Me and his mother never wanted him in the first place. Unlike his siblings, Sheev has been nothing but an outcast. Take him and never bring him back. I never want to see that child again.
Dooku nodded.
However, mark my words, Jedi. This boy will be the downfall of your Jedi Order one day.
I highly doubt that, sir.
Oh, you just wait and see. He will be. He will be.
Dooku did his best to ignore him, and from there he took the young Sheev. Bringing the boy aboard his ship, they then left Naboo and set off for Coruscant. It was now time for Sheev to begin his training as a Jedi. Eventually, Dooku arrived with the boy, but as he did, he met with Master Yoda right away. Sheev's father's words still haunted Dooku, and although it took a lot to make him worried, this was something that he just couldn't ignore. So he went to go speak with his own master.
Young Dooku, gone well your mission has, yes?
Yes, Master. Young Palpatine is with the other younglings as of right now. Just getting situated.
Good. However, troubled you seem.
Master Yoda, I tested young Palpatine's midichlorian count back on Naboo, and It was like a number I haven't seen before. It was extraordinarily high.
Strong in the Force, is he?
It would appear so. However, there's just one more issue. Before I left, the father of young Palpatine said something to me. His exact words were that his son would be the downfall of the Order one day. Although I'd normally ignore something like this, Master, there was an unusual dark presence about his father.
Hard it is for a parent to let go of their child. Difficult it is.
You think he said that out of frustration?
Perhaps, yes. However, a close eye we will keep on young Palpatine.
I agree. I suppose it's a good thing that we took him in early, rather than him reaching a later age.
Yes, done well you have, Dooku. Proud of you I am. A great young man you are becoming.
Thank you, Master.
"50 years had passed since young Sheev Palpatine joined the Jedi Order, and it's safe to say his life completely changed. From being born in a rich noble family on Naboo, Palpatine now quickly rose through the ranks of the Jedi Order, and at this point many considered him to be one of the greatest Jedi to ever live. Throughout his first years as a youngling, Palpatine spent a lot of time under Yoda's guidance along with the rest of the children there. That was until he reached the age of 13, when it was time for him to be appointed to a Jedi Master. However, to no surprise, Palpatine's master ended up being none other than Count Dooku, who took it upon himself to train Palpatine in the ways of the Force. Over the years, Dooku and Palpatine developed a close bond as master and apprentice, and Dooku taught him everything he knew. He taught him all about the Force, about lightsaber combat, and most of all, how to conduct himself as a young man. Because of Dooku's training, Palpatine really blossomed into a strong and powerful young Jedi throughout his teenage years. But something happened one day that shocked everyone in the Order. When it was time for Palpatine to construct his first lightsaber, most expected the color of green or blue to call out to him, since that's what happens with most Jedi. But Palpatine was a bit different. Instead, the color of yellow called out to him, which was extremely rare for a Jedi of today's age. It's said that this color represented a balance between one's wisdom and skills as a warrior, so the fact that this called out to Palpatine was a big honor. So with that, Palpatine continued under Dooku's training, and the two truly had an inseparable bond. However, there was one thing that shocked Dooku. Years ago, Palpatine's father warned Dooku that the young Sheev would be a threat to the Jedi Order, but over time he showed the complete opposite. It's almost as if Dooku was the perfect master for him and was able to control his dark side tendencies and use them for good. Because of this, Palpatine quickly became one of the most popular Jedi in the Order, and it didn't take him much time to eventually become a Jedi Knight, a Jedi Master, and even earn himself a seat on the Jedi High Council. Although Dooku himself was never on the council, mainly because he had his differences with them, he couldn't help but be so proud of his apprentice and the man he had become. In time, Palpatine had become extremely wise, and unlike Dooku, he was surprisingly a very calm and collected Jedi, which was something that nobody expected. However, despite Palpatine being so reputable in the Jedi Order, there was one thing about him that raised some eyebrows and even some concerns. Unlike most Jedi, Palpatine was gifted with an ability called precognition, which allowed him to see visions of future events and sometimes even warnings about things that may happen. Although he couldn't foresee every event that was going to happen, he was able to use it here and there, and most of the time his visions were normally correct. However, there was one issue. Although it helped Palpatine a lot, especially while in combat, a lot of the Jedi Council members were against him using this ability. According to Yoda, visions about the future would just cloud his judgment, so in time Palpatine learned to just keep his visions privately to himself. When he was younger, he always used to try and help out by sharing what he saw, but most of the time the older Jedi would just shut him down and tell him to let it go. So now he'd either just keep them to himself, or would tell Dooku about it, who was one of the only few people in the Order who never judged him for who he was. Luckily for Palpatine though, Dooku wasn't the only person in the Order who he trusted fully. Over the years, Palpatine developed a lot of close friendships with many Jedi, but there was one who he considered to be almost like a best friend. This Jedi was none other than Qui-Gon Jinn, who was only 4 years younger than him. Palpatine and Qui-Gon briefly knew each other as younglings, but as they got older they really became close, and the two developed a strong bond. Although Qui-Gon's master was Plo Koon, sometimes Dooku would bring him along for missions, and the three of them would go on adventures together. Personally, those were some of Palpatine's favorite memories growing up, and although he and Qui-Gon's pasts were very different, the two truly had an unbreakable friendship. Now 50 years later, Qui-Gon just returned back to Coruscant along with his Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi and what seemed like a young boy. Although Palpatine was confused by this, he assumed that Qui-Gon had a lot to share in his upcoming meeting with the Council. Rumor had it that Qui-Gon was attacked by a mysterious warrior on his way over here, which is when he rushed with Obi-Wan and the young boy right back here to Coruscant. So as Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan stood before the Council, it was there where Qui-Gon spoke up.
He was trained in the Jedi arts. My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
Impossible. The Sith have been extinct for a millennium. I do not believe the Sith could have returned without us knowing.
Hard to see the dark side is.
As Palpatine heard all this, he sat there shocked. This is exactly what his master Dooku always spoke about. He always told him how blind the Jedi Council were becoming. And now it's more transparent than ever. Qui-Gon just revealed that he was attacked by what could be a Sith Lord, and the other council members were just shutting it down like it was nothing? No. Palpatine couldn't let that happen. He refused to be like them.
Master Windu, Master Yoda, with all due respect, I think Master Qui-Gon is sharing something rather urgent that we must take greater caution with. If this is indeed a Sith Lord, we must be prepared.
Master Palpatine, we will not allow fear to cloud our judgment. As a member of this council, you should know that is something we cannot do. I expect more from you.
Preparation does not equate to fear, Master Windu. By preparing for the worst, it will allow us to stay ready and keep our eyes open if the Sith are to return.
Windu shook his head. From there, he ignored Palpatine's comment and looked back at Qui-Gon.
We will use all our resources to unravel this mystery. We will discover the identity of your attacker. May the Force be with you.
Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan bowed.
Master Qui-Gon, more to say, have you?
With your permission, my master, I have encountered a vergence in the Force.
A vergence, you say?
Located around a person?
A boy. His cells have the highest concentration of midichlorians I have ever seen in a life form. Even more than Master Palpatine, and even more than Master Yoda. It is possible he was conceived by the midichlorians.
Palpatine sat there shocked. What? No, it can't be. Was he speaking of the prophesized chosen one?
You refer to the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force. You believe it's this boy?
I don't presume to.
But you do. Reveal your opinion is.
Let him speak.
Qui-Gon nodded.
I request the boy be tested, Master.
Oh, trained as a Jedi you request for him?
Finding him was the will of the Force. I have no doubt of that.
Bring him before us then.
Qui-Gon nodded, and from there he left the room. However, as the meeting came to a close and the other Jedi Council members left the room, Qui-Gon stayed behind. He wanted to speak with Palpatine alone, so he waited for him to come out. As he did, he then spoke up.
Sheev, thank you for sticking up for me there, my old friend. Of course. I know I am part of that council, but more and more it seems Master Dooku is right. They truly have lost their ways, and I don't know what it'll take for them to rediscover themselves. We can only hope for the best, my friend. I agree. Qui-Gon, may I ask something? Yes, of course. This boy, do you believe it? Do you believe he is the chosen one? I do. Sheev, I've never met a boy quite as sharp as him. He has a gift that is unexplainable. Well, I believe you, Qui-Gon. My only fear is his age. From what I've seen, he appears to be older than any other Jedi that has ever joined this order. You know what the Council will think about that. Yes, it won't be easy, but I won't take no for an answer. Anakin must be trained. I'm only one member out of this large council, but I will do everything in my power to make sure of it. You have my word. Thank you, my old friend. I shall see you later. May the Force be with you. May the Force be with you, Qui-Gon.
As time passed, Anakin was presented in front of the council, and just as Palpatine predicted, the rest of the council members refused to allow him to be trained. In their eyes, he was too old to become a Jedi, and according to them, there was much fear that clouded his judgment. Although Palpatine tried speaking out and defending the young Anakin in the meeting, the rest of the members wouldn't have it. No matter what, they refused to allow Anakin to be trained. So later that night, they informed Qui-Gon that the boy wouldn't be trained, and as a result, Qui-Gon was furious. Although they tried to explain to him that Anakin's future was clouded, Qui-Gon refused to give up. At one point, he even offered to train Anakin himself, but they shut down that idea right away, saying that Obi-Wan was already his apprentice, and he couldn't train 2 students at a time. However, by the end of the meeting, they agreed that Anakin's fate would be discussed another time, and right now, the only thing that mattered was the mysterious attacker from earlier. So the council ordered Qui-Gon to return back to Naboo to draw the attacker out and unravel the mystery. It was there where Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and the young Anakin were about to depart back for Naboo, but on their way out, Palpatine pulled Qui-Gon aside one last time. However, this time their conversation together was a bit more serious.
Sheev, you wanted to speak to me? I do. Qui-Gon, you've been my close friend for a long time now, and you know when I'm able to have these visions of the future? Yes, of course. During the meeting just now, I sensed something. I saw something dark. However, I can't pinpoint this one exactly yet. Just be safe, my friend. Something tells me your theory is correct, and that it is a Sith Lord. Make sure Obi-Wan stays by your side at all times. Am I in danger? I cannot say. These visions this time, they aren't as clear as they usually are. I'm sorry. No need to apologize, my old friend. If all goes well, Obi-Wan and I will return soon, hopefully victorious.
Palpatine paused. He hoped he was right.
Take care, my friend. May the Force be with you.
Qui-Gon nodded, and from there he set off. However, as Palpatine still stood there, he felt defeated. He felt like a failure. He wished he could help Qui-Gon more. He wished he could find an answer to what this vision was about, but he couldn't. This bothered him. Normally he'd be able to dissect what the vision was about and get to the bottom of it right away, but this time it was way different. This time he had no answers. Although he wasn't sure what it was, he couldn't help but feel terrified for Qui-Gon's life. As hours and hours passed, Palpatine sat in his quarters meditating in the Force. As he did, he kept trying to receive answers, but he just couldn't. Nothing came to him. He couldn't sense what his visions were about and what was going to happen as a result. However, little did he know that all was about to change. As Palpatine sat there, the doors behind him opened. It was Count Dooku, but he looked pale. He looked sick to his stomach. What was going on?
Master? What's going on? I don't know how to tell you this, Sheev. Master, tell me, is something wrong? Qui-Gon Jinn, he's dead.
Palpatine's heart sunk. His chest felt numb. Everything hurt. No, not Qui-Gon, not his best friend.
I'm deeply sorry, Sheev. I know how close you two were. Who did this? A Sith Lord. A Sith Lord? So Qui-Gon was right. Indeed. We just received the report. It seems the mysterious attacker from earlier was indeed a Sith Lord. However, young Obi-Wan Kenobi was able to kill him from what it seems. But Qui-Gon? From what it sounds like, Qui-Gon pressed ahead and was left isolated with the Sith Lord. It wasn't until later where Kenobi caught up and fought the warrior himself.
Palpatine felt sick inside.
I wish I could have done more, Master. I couldn't sense these visions for some reason. I tried, I really did. I even told Qui-Gon before he left to make sure he and Obi-Wan stayed together, since everything felt off to me. I feel like I've let him down. Do not take blame for this, Sheev. I've been warning the Jedi Council of this growing darkness for years. This won't be the last we see of the Sith, so we must be ready. My guess is that only a Sith apprentice could be defeated so easily. Whoever it is, his master must be lurking out there somewhere in the shadows. I agree. Anyways, I must be going now. It seems we have our new Supreme Chancellor selected. Wait, what? The election is finalized already? Who won? Here you go. The Mask. The man? From the banking clan? Indeed. Wow. Yes, Valorum was a fool. Unlike him, Damask is respected by many within the Senate. So let us hope that with him in control, we'll have more action take place as well as justice for our republic. I agree. Try not to think so much about it. Knowing Qui-Gon Jinn, he's watching over you right now. I'll see you later tomorrow for the funeral. Take care, my friend.
Palpatine nodded, and from there, Dooku set off. As he did, Palpatine was left with his thoughts. He was hurt. His heart ached. For so long, Qui-Gon was his best friend. And now he was gone. Palpatine was speechless. He was heartbroken. However, although he was devastated, he told himself that he would do anything in his power to avenge his friend's death. Anything. The next day, Obi-Wan met with Yoda just a few hours before the funeral, but Palpatine was invited to this meeting as well. For some reason, Yoda wanted to speak with both of them. Although Palpatine had no idea why, he would soon find out.
Confer on you the level of Jedi Knight, the Council does. But agree with you taking this boy as your Padawan learner, I do not.
Qui-Gon believed in him.
The chosen one the boy may be. Nevertheless, grave danger I fear in his training.
Master Yoda, I gave Qui-Gon my word. I will train Anakin.
No, already decided this boy's future is.
What?
To train young Skywalker, a master is needed with more experience.
Yoda looked at Palpatine, who so far was silent the entire meeting.
Master Palpatine, take young Skywalker as your Padawan. You will. Train him in the correct way. You must.
Palpatine was shocked. However, at the same time, he was thrilled. He couldn't think of any better way to honor his fallen friend than to train the boy he believed in so much. In just the small moments that he saw Qui-Gon with the boy, he saw how much he cared for him. He saw how much he looked after him as if he was his own son. Now, Palpatine would do the same. He was honored.
It would be an honor, Master Yoda.
I understand, Master. Knowing Qui-Gon, he would have been extremely happy to hear that Master Palpatine would train Anakin.
Obi-Wan looked at Palpatine.
Thank you, Master.
Of course. May the Force be with you, Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan nodded, and from there, he left the room. As he did, it was just Yoda and Palpatine alone.
Master Yoda, I know we have had our differences in the past, but thank you for this opportunity.
Thank me yet. You do not need to. When you were a boy, scared we were. Much darkness your father said you had. However, wrong he was, and wrong we were. A great Jedi you have become. Now, do the same with young Skywalker. Teach him and set him on the right path. You must.
13 years had passed since Qui-Gon's death, and ever since then, Palpatine honored his best friend in the best way he could. Over the years, Palpatine took it upon himself to train Anakin in the ways of the Force, and over time, Anakin became a way different Jedi than anybody could have predicted. Under Palpatine's teachings, Anakin was a lot more powerful, more calm, and was a much better conducted student had he been taught under Obi-Wan. Although Anakin was devastated after Qui-Gon's death, he now had Palpatine, and in time he started seeing him as sort of like a father figure. For most of his childhood, Anakin never had a father, so Palpatine truly filled that gap in his life, and in time the two developed an unbreakable bond. Throughout the past 13 years though, the events played out very much the same. Although Palpatine and Anakin were close, Anakin unfortunately still lost his mother due to a band of Tusken Raiders killing her on Tatooine. As a result, Anakin was heartbroken about this, but in this timeline he never slaughtered any of those Tuskens to get revenge. Because of Palpatine's teachings, he learned to stay calm, even in a situation as horrifying as that. Anakin came to terms that revenge would do nothing. It wouldn't bring his mother back, and instead would only make him feel worse. So, although it was a hard time for him, Anakin learned to let go, and with the help of Palpatine by his side, he was able to overcome his trauma. However, Palpatine wasn't the only person who helped support Anakin. Throughout these years, Anakin also developed a strong romantic attachment to none other than Padme Amidala. After spending time together, he and Padme quickly fell in love with one another, and eventually the two even got married. Luckily for Anakin though, Palpatine fully supported him and actually encouraged him to have this romantic attachment. Unlike the other Jedi, Palpatine believed that in a way, attachment was essential to a Jedi's life, as long as it didn't control you. So Palpatine taught Anakin how to use his feelings for good, and even helped keep his relationship a secret from the other council members. Because of Palpatine in his life, it not only made Anakin a better husband to Padme, but also a better Jedi. Anakin was so grateful for his master, and as a result, he worked his way up to eventually becoming a Jedi Knight. Although his dream was to one day be a Jedi Master, he stayed patient and kept working hard so that maybe in time that dream would come true. However, those weren't the only things that happened over these past 13 years. Just like we saw all those years ago, Ego Damask was elected as the new Supreme Chancellor, but even under his leadership, the Clone Wars had still begun. Over the past 3 years, the Republic has been at war with the Separatists, and although it's been a long, brutal 3 years, luckily it was starting to come to an end. Not long ago, it was revealed that General Grievous was hiding in the Utapau system, so Obi-Wan Kenobi was being sent to confront him there. With him confronting Grievous, they could be one step closer to ending this war. But there was one thing missing: the Sith Lord. Ever since that Sith warrior died on Naboo all those years ago, the Jedi had been trying to unravel the mystery of who his master was, but had no luck. However, that was about to change. As Palpatine now sat in his quarters, he was granted another vision of the future. But unlike the one about Qui-Gon all those years ago, this one was more clear. This one felt real, and if what he saw was correct, the Clone Wars would soon be at an end. However, Palpatine didn't want to jump to conclusions yet, so he met with the two people he trusted most: Count Dooku and Anakin.
Master, you wanted to see us?
Yes? I am not sure how to put this into words.
What's going on? Is everything okay?
Palpatine went quiet.
You've had a vision, haven't you? Yes. However, if I share what I'm about to tell you both, the rest of the Jedi Council will never believe me. You know how they feel about my visions. So, what happened in this one? The Sith Lord. I believe I know who it may be.
Who?
Chancellor Ego Damask.
Damask? Are you certain?
I am. This vision felt more certain. A lot more than the one about Qui-Gon all those years ago. In this one, I can't describe it, but I saw him with a red blade.
It's okay. We both believe you, Sheev.
How can we help?
I am unsure. However, as you know, I have developed a close relationship with Damask over the years. I am sure I can get to the bottom of this.
You're going to confront him.
By doing so, I believe we can discover the truth.
Master, with all due respect, I don't want you confronting a Sith Lord on your own. He could be dangerous.
Then that is a risk I am willing to take, my old Padawan. If you come along, it'll be too risky. It'll appear as if we're threatening him.
Go. Confront him. Skywalker will wait here with me. If things do take a turn, you will contact him, and he'll be in there immediately.
I agree.
Master Dooku, won't you come fight as well?
Young Skywalker, with my old age, I'm half the man I used to be. I taught Sheev here everything I know, and now you and him have truly developed a strong relationship as master and apprentice. I have no doubt you both can bring peace back to this galaxy.
I understand.
Now, Sheev, go. We'll remain here and make sure none of the other council members ask any questions. Go do this. For Qui-Gon Jinn.
Palpatine nodded. For Qui-Gon. As time passed, Palpatine arrived at the Chancellor's office, and as he did, Damask was surprised to see him.
Ah, Master Jedi. What a pleasant surprise this is.
Chancellor Damask, I have great news to share. It seems Master Obi-Wan Kenobi will soon be engaging General Grievous, and if all goes well, this war should finally come to a close.
That is very good news indeed. I must say, I am surprised they didn't send you for this mission, especially as a Jedi Council member.
There is no need. Master Kenobi will be just fine.
Ah, yes. Master Kenobi. The same Jedi that allowed his master to get killed right in front of his eyes. No.
Palpatine paused. Why was he bringing this up?
It wasn't his fault.
Yes. It's easy to think that. However, if only he and Kenobi just stayed together, then Qui-Gon Jinn could still be here alive.
Palpatine went silent. He did his best to remain calm. He knew this was a trick.
Master Palpatine, you seem unsettled. Here, perhaps let me help you.
Out of nowhere, Damas pulled Palpatine's comlink right from his pocket and crushed it with his bare hand.
If you are going to spy on me, at least be a little more subtle, Master Jedi.
Palpatine was shocked. He was right. His visions were right.
You're the Sith Lord.
Indeed. Now that you no longer have a comlink, you will not be contacting any of your Jedi friends to come rescue you. In this room, it will just be you and me. Nobody else.
Why do this, Chancellor Damask?
Chancellor Damask. No, fool. My name is Darth Plagueis.
Darth Plagueis? Palpatine felt cold.
You could have been a powerful apprentice to me had you stayed on Naboo with your family, Master Palpatine. I foresaw you becoming my own Sith apprentice many years ago. But of course, because of your father getting rid of you, that was robbed from me. Luckily, he suffered the consequences of his actions.
What are you talking about?
I killed your father in cold blood, as the rest of your family. Not that it matters anyway. They saw you as an abomination, as an outcast. They celebrated the day you entered the Jedi Order. Yet it seems you're still an outcast even to the Jedi. How unfortunate.
Palpatine felt numb. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. His parents, his family.
However, I offer you a choice now. Join me. Allow us to rule this galaxy under the new Galactic Empire. Leave your Jedi Order and rule right by my side. Our combined strength will be no match for anyone who opposes us.
Never. My loyalty lies to the Jedi Order.
Even after they were the ones responsible for Qui-Gon Jinn's death. If only they believed him at the time that the Sith had truly returned, then perhaps he could still be around now. Well then, just like Qui-Gon Jinn, you will now suffer the same fate.
With that, Plagueis ignited his red lightsaber. Palpatine ignited his yellow one. From there, Plagueis leaped towards Palpatine, and it was now a duel between the two of them. Beams of yellow and red clashed against one another as they fought in the Chancellor's office. However, as they fought, Palpatine became quickly overwhelmed. Although he entered the fight confident that he could beat this Sith Lord, now his thoughts began to get the best of him. He started thinking about his family, and how this man right here was responsible for killing them all. Despite him not remembering much of his family, it still broke his heart inside. How could someone do this? Palpatine and Plagueis kept clashing. However, Palpatine just couldn't keep up. Plagueis was just too powerful. Then before he knew it, Plagueis then kicked his saber out of his hands and brought him right to the ground. Plagueis had won and Palpatine was defeated. Now, as Plagueis stood above him, he pointed his saber right at his throat.
Your thoughts betray you, Master Jedi. I give you one last chance. Join me. We can turn those feelings into rage. We can make you more powerful than the Jedi had ever taught you. Join me, and we can rule to...
Enough!
Plagueis and Palpatine turned around. It was Anakin.
I see your apprentice has come to rescue you. How touching.
Enough, Sith Lord. I'll give you one chance. Let my master go, or suffer the consequences.
Young fool, you are the child they called the Chosen One. Seems to be nothing more than a misread prophecy.
From there, Plagueis looked back at Palpatine. However, as he did, Palpatine glanced over at Anakin. Although no words were said, they were both on the same page. As soon as Plagueis would act, they would have a counter together. They knew each other far too well and would be prepared for anything.
I gave you a choice. Die well, Master Jedi.
Plagueis then swung back his arm to attack Palpatine, but then...
Anakin, now!
Without hesitation, Anakin ignited his yellow saber and sliced Plagueis' hand off. Plagueis screamed in agony. However, Palpatine then ignited his saber and out of nowhere, with one strike of his blade, Palpatine stabbed Plagueis right through his chest. It was done. Darth Plagueis was dead. As his dead body hit the ground, Palpatine sat there in relief. He really had done it. He and Anakin had truly saved the galaxy together.
Master, are you okay?
I'm alright, Anakin. If it weren't for you, my dear boy, I might have lost that fight.
Well, you didn't. I wasn't going to let you take him on yourself, Master. You're like my father. I can't lose you.
Palpatine smiled.
You truly brought balance to the Force, my old Padawan. Qui-Gon was right about you. You are the Chosen One.
Anakin smiled.
Thank you, Master. Now, shall we get out of here?
The next day, a Jedi Council meeting was held, and it was there where Palpatine broke the news to everyone. Although Anakin wasn't a Jedi Council member himself, he was still invited to this meeting, mainly because of his heroic acts in saving Palpatine. So, as the hearing was held, Palpatine shared that Chancellor Damask was a Sith Lord the entire time under the name of Darth Plagueis. When the Jedi Council heard this, they were shocked, but some such as Mace Windu still didn't believe what Palpatine was saying. However, luckily, Palpatine came prepared for this meeting. Last night, before he and Anakin left the Chancellor's office, they searched through his files, and after hours and hours of investigation, they found their proof. Buried deep within, it was revealed that Plagueis had been funding both sides of the war the entire time, and was also responsible for the production of the clone army. It was there where they discovered his investments, his plans, and most of all, everything that he had done. Palpatine then shared that it was his visions that allowed him to see the truth behind the Chancellor, and without them, the Jedi Order could have been potentially doomed. When Yoda heard this, he was shocked. For the first time ever, he was glad that Palpatine had these visions, but at the same time, he felt like a failure. He and many of the other Jedi Council members were disappointed in themselves, mainly since they weren't able to sense what's been transpiring all along. So it was in that meeting where Yoda and the Council came to terms that a change was needed, and it was time to reconnect themselves with the Force. In order for peace to truly be restored to the galaxy, the Jedi would need to find their ways again, even if it meant starting from square one and reintroducing older Jedi traditions. However, there was one more thing that happened in this meeting. Something that caught everyone by surprise. In the meeting, Yoda shared that because of Anakin's actions and his patience throughout the years, he would now be promoted to the rank of Jedi Master and earn a seat on the Jedi Council. This was a big deal because it was always Anakin's dream to become a Master. However, even though he was thrilled, there was one issue. An issue that he was scared to face for years. His relationship with Padme. Anakin knew that if the Council found out about his relationship, they'd expel him from the Order, so he wasn't sure if he could accept this promotion, let alone stay as a Jedi. He wasn't sure what would happen from here, but he decided to come clean about everything.
Mr. Yoda, I thank you for this opportunity. As you know, it's been my dream to sit among you all and to be recognized as a master. However, I must be honest about something.
A relationship with Senator Amidala you have? No, that we do.
Anakin was stunned.
What?
Yes, known of it we have for years.
Does this mean I won't be able to be a master? I understand if not.
For now, what matters is that the Sith Lord has been discovered. Although I did not agree with you two confronting the Chancellor without approval from the rest of the Council, you two did what nobody else could do. As for your relationship with Senator Amidala, we will discuss that matter over the course of several meetings. Like Master Yoda said earlier, if we are to truly have peace again, we must rediscover ourselves. And perhaps that means permitting attachments again into our order.
Really?
Don't get your hopes up. I said we'll see.
Anakin smiled inside. Although it wasn't a definite answer, that's the kindest Windu has ever been to him, and for Anakin, that's more of a victory than defeating the Sith Lord.
Now, we must inform the Senate of these discoveries. It won't be easy because of the high reputation Damask has always had. But with the evidence you two provided, things might work in our favor. May the Force be with us all.
From there, the meeting came to a close. However, Anakin asked Palpatine to stay. He wanted to speak to him alone.
Master, I just want to say thank you. For everything.
No need to thank me, Anakin. I will always be here for you.
Master, can I ask you something?
Yes? What is it?
Do you think the Council will allow me to be with Padme? I can't live without her.
I'm not sure, but I can guarantee one thing. I won't take no for an answer. If I need to filibuster the Council for hours, days, whatever it takes, then so be it. You are my priority, Anakin.
Thank you, Master.
Now go. Surely your wife misses you.
May the Force be with you, Master.
From there, Anakin left. But as Palpatine stayed, he felt something odd. Something different. A feeling he hadn't felt since...
I am proud of you, Sheev.
Palpatine turned around. It was Qui-Gon, standing there as clear as day.
Qui-Gon? Please tell me I am not hallucinating.
Oh, you're not hallucinating, my old friend. It is I.
How?
I know as friends we've always told each other everything. But there was one thing I never told a single person, Sheev. Through my studies in isolation, I was able to learn the path to immortality. Although it took much time, I was able to retain my consciousness after death, and now appear before you as a Force spirit.
I don't know what to say.
I hope you're not upset at me for keeping it a secret.
Well, I'm not mad, but perhaps a little jealous.
Do not worry, my old friend. I will teach you everything I know, so one day you can do the same.
I missed you, Qui-Gon.
I did too. Like I said, I am very proud of you. You took it upon yourself to train the Chosen One. And now there is peace in the galaxy again.
You were right about him. He truly is like no other Jedi.
When nobody else believed in me, you did, Sheev. Now it is time for me to return that favor. Shall we begin our training?
I would be honored, my old friend.
Yes.
Lord Maul, I regret to inform you that Ego Damask is dead, killed by 2 Jedi.
How disappointing. I warned him to have me there with him, however he was too blinded by his own ego.
Before he passed, he left a transmission for you. Shall I play it?
Go ahead.
If you are listening to this transmission, then it means I am already dead, my apprentice. This now shall be the ultimate test if we are in fact able to cheat death. Only time will tell. However, if not, then the Sith Order now belongs to you, Lord Maul. Although I may be dead, it is your duty to continue our work. Do not let the Sith die. As I've told you, each and every clone is still programmed with Protocol 66 and is ready to initiate at any point. Take your time. Remain patient, and when the time is right, you may do as you wish with that information, my apprentice. If all goes according to as I've foreseen, the Jedi's victory will only be temporary. Once more, the Sith shall rule the galaxy. But that all remains in your hands now, Lord Maul. Do not disappoint me.
As you wish, my master.